Tonight, we hit the ground running this season on BTA. We're welcoming 2 Pacer student athletes from the track and field team. Beyond the Arch starts right now. Our guests tonight are members of Marywood's track and field team. One of our guests is a senior athletic training major. She's a sprinter and jumper from Howell, New Jersey, and Brick Memorial High School. She is the school record holder for the long jump and is the 5th best time in the 200 meters for outdoor. She also owns the indoor long jump and 800 relay records. Our other guest is a junior computer science major from Peckville, Pennsylvania, and Valley View High School. He was the 2018 CSAC Field Athlete of the Year. He also was named to the All-CSAC First Team for Javelin. Before I sit down with them, I go one-on-one with Lindsey Ansbro and Jake Kraycer next.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the eye.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Today I'm at the gym. BTA is in full swing. I'm about to go one-on-one with Lindsey Ansbro and Jake Kraycer, 2 stars from the track and field team here at Marywood. You know, I'm feeling good this morning. I'm ready to run. I carbo loaded before I came here, so
let's get it, baby.
So now we're going to work on our long jump drills. So we're going to use the arch. We're going to get like a 3 to 4 step run up, jump off the arch, and work on our landing.
So now we're going to work on some shot put drills. So this is the shot put, it's 16 pounds. Feel that. That's the guy's shot put. It's heavy. What we're going to start with is the power drill. So you're going to put the shot put. You're going to come back. You're just going to power it. Drive left to the center. And then we're gonna come through and release it. I'm afraid like
Okay, so now we're gonna work on the block start. So I'm gonna first show you how to set yours up. So you're gonna go 1 foot to the front of the block. And then rule of thumb is 2 feet to your first foot. Mine's a little high because I trained your legs. So mine's a little closer. And then it's 3 feet to your back foot.
On your marks. Set. Your marks. Set.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook. And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Welcome back to the show. I'm pleased to be joined by Lindsey Ansbro and Jake Kraycer. Lindsey, Jake, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Well, it's no problem. We were really happy to have you guys here. I thought that was a fun one-on-one that we did.
Yeah.
I watched some of it back, and I got to say, I run better than that. I know that. The other stuff, like, I know is okay because, like, I didn't expect to be good at it, but the running could have been better on my part. But that's all right. I'll live with it. Okay, so first question we always ask all the athletes on the show is, how did you find your way to Marywood? Because we get a lot of interesting responses. So whoever wants to go first, how did either of you find your way to Marywood?
Good. Okay, so I actually went to East Stroudsburg University for a semester, and I went there for the track and field team, actually. But when I was there, I realized that I wasn't exactly happy, and I wanted to change my majors, so I came here and switched into the physician's assistant program, which I am now actually out of. Mm-hmm. But, when I got here, I met all my friends in the track and field team, and it was just like a natural switch for me. And it was kind of as if Marywood was actually my first choice, even though I didn't come here in the beginning.
And did you go to ESU specifically for track?
Like yeah. I was like going there for track and field, but it was, it probably wasn't the best decision to just go for a sport,
Sure. And why, what made you switch to computer science now? Is that what you're now?
I've always been interested in computers, but it was just, I was like thinking about healthcare, and I was afraid of the math, but then I like got over the fear of the math. So
I get it.
Yeah,
Believe me, math's scary stuff.
Math is scary. So I got over the fear and I switched in, and I haven't looked back yet. I love it.
Well, very good. So now, Lindsey, how'd you find your way to Marywood?
I came here for a track and athletic training program because I was in between this school and a bunch of others that wanted me for track. I had a few D2 offers.
Oh, nice.
But this was the school that had the best athletic training program for me that would allow me to do track and athletic training at the same time. Because I have to do clinical hours for athletic training. I do like, anywhere between 4 and 10 a day.
Yeah, it's like our practicum in a way.
Yeah.
We do the same sort of thing.
So it gets difficult if I go like higher up in division to be able to do both at the same time.
Right. So was it at all difficult knowing that you had a D2 offer on the table to sort of kind of just
Not
say
really.
No? Okay.
Yeah, no. They were farther away too. It was there was two in North Carolina, and one was in like Kansas. So it was pretty easy to pick not going that far away.
I mean, the same way. I mean, I'm 10 minutes. I mean, I'm 10 minutes away. So I mean, I wanted to stay real close, but and that's maybe similar for you. So yeah, no, but I mean, I went to CCD with Jake. So
yeah,
there
we go way back.
Yeah, no, we go back. I think we were confirmed together. So
probably, yeah.
So there you go. All right, so we're coming full circle here at BTA. You know, from Sunday school to BTA. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, okay, we got to get back to the thing. We got to get back on track now. But so, athletic training. Last semester we had a lot of athletes on who were AT majors, and I kind of would always ask them, like, is there any tie-in, do you think, between being an athlete and being so interested, like, in the body and, like, training? What do you think?
Definitely. I definitely pick athletic training because I've been in sports my whole life. I started with dance, then I went to gymnastics and soccer, and then soccer and track, and I've stuck with track since then. But I've just had an interest in sports, so this keeps me around it.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. So did you aspire to go in to be, like, a trainer for a team or
like a
anything
professional
like
team? You can't, for professional teams, it's really hard to have a family. That's kind of your life. You stick with your team and you travel the whole time. So I'd rather stick with a college or a high school, like lower level college, like D3, D2.
Sure. Like, and how did the gymnastics background do that? Does that help you in track at all, or does it make it harder, or is there?
It helped me a little, jumping wise, I guess, like leg strength, but not. I only did it. I did it for about 8 to 10 years, so I've kind of lost all those abilities.
8 to 10 years. That's 10 years, a long time.
Yeah.
No, but so the next thing we talk, I always ask this question too, but like the balance of being a student athlete, because I mean, I know it gets busy, doing what I do, and I see a lot of other people, they're busy. Just our typical thought of a college student is that they're always so busy. So how do you manage classes and practice and meets and everything?
Personally, for me, I think that having the sport as well kind of helps ground me, because we have to hold a minimum GPA. We have to make sure we're passing all our classes, getting everything, so that while we're, we have more time, like with sports and everything, but that also means that we really have to, like, double down on our work, make sure we're passing, make sure we're doing well. And I think, obviously, Marywood, with our GPAs on the athletics programs, I think that shows.
Lindsey?
For me, it's a lot more difficult, I guess, with the clinical aspect of it. All my classes are in the morning, and then I have clinical, depending any day. It could go from like 2 to like 6 or 2 to like 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
But with track, it's been a lot easier since track is not only a team sport, it's individualized, so I can kind of go on my own and practice. Anytime I have an opening in the day, whether it's only for 2 hours, I can go by myself and do it. So that's been good.
So generally, like in season or out of season, do you feel like it's easier to just kind of get things done? What do you think? Is it easier in season or out of season?
It's kind of funny. We don't really have an out of season with track.
Right.
We have like maybe 2 months out of season during the whole year, where you go from like November all the way until the end of the school year.
No off days?
Not really, no.
No
We
days
like
off.
go on Saturdays, Sundays, like almost every day. We get 1 day off per week. But it's definitely like a little bit easier out of season, because you just have like the extra couple hours during the day. But at the same time, like for me personally, like having to get it done at a certain time, because that's the only time I have during the day, makes it easier for me.
And Lindsey?
Like what he said with how we barely have an off season. We have 2 months, which is September and October, and that's about it. And even then, so while we're not having team organized practices, you're still training on your own. Like we go in the weight room for at least an hour by ourselves, and then maybe we'll do some running for at least an hour by ourselves as well, which equates to a normal practice time.
Right.
So regardless, we're still practicing the same amount that we would in season. But no matter what, I think it's pretty easily done doing both school and track.
Okay. I mean, every athlete we have on here, like you touched on it before, they always say like it actually kind of helps them a little bit, which is it's interesting because you might not have thought that, but like every athlete we have on here, like I don't tell anybody to say this before they come on, but everybody says the same thing, like, oh, it helps me. So I said last week maybe I should join a sport. I don't know, time management. I don't know.
It really makes you double down, like when you actually have the time, but. Like Lindsey said, like sometimes we don't always have the time and it's kind of difficult, but it's really just when you do have time, you have to do it, so it helps us.
Like why do you guys want to do it? Like what makes it worth it for you, do you think, at the end of the day?
For doing track?
Yeah, for just, giving your time to not only school, but also to, sport.
I've done track since 7th grade. Like as soon as I was able to do it, I did it, and I just fell in love with it from the beginning, and just doing track just always was one of the main things I loved doing. Like I was always looking forward to it, and the love has never like diminished for me. I still love going to practices. I still love meets. So it's just, it's just still something that I actually love to do. So it's worth it for me in the end.
Lindsey?
Same thing, but I've been, like I said earlier, I've been in athletics since I was able to walk. I was put in Mommy and Me dance classes when I was 2. So I've been around it for a very long time. So doing it in college is one of my biggest achievements, to be able to do it with academics too. But also soccer was originally my biggest thing, and then I had too many injuries, too many concussions, and had to quit that. So being able to continue with track has really been a good thing for me.
All right, thank you guys very much. I mean, I think we're off to a great start, and we have much more with Lindsey and Jake right after this.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org. It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back as our conversation with Lindsey and Jake continues. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. We're going to get into the second half of the interview now. This one's everybody loosens up now. We're going to talk a little bit about sports, a little bit about track and stuff. So, all right, like I did it today, and I went through the one-on-one. It's not easy, I can confirm, which is what I say about all the sports, really. It's not easy, but, I always say this too about cross country and stuff when they're here too. It's the same sort of, it's running, at the heart of it. And, running is something that, everyone does, or at least, knows how to do at least a little bit. So it's kind of amazing that it could be so difficult, actually, to master it. So, like, why, well, let's start with Lindsey, because you're more of the runner. So, like, why, like, did you like running? Like, why do you?
Honestly, no.
You sort of told me this
like
today,
running,
that's why I wanted to ask.
But I'm decent at it. And I'm
so.
a big competitor. Like, my mom makes fun of me that we can't even have, like, a game of, like, tossing the ball, because I'll turn it into a competition somehow.
This is like 2 weeks in a row. This is like the same conversation, seriously. No, but I'm competitive too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people in my life who are kind of competitive too, but so it's, it's good. I like that though. People bring the best out of you that are like competitive, but yeah. So I mean, I think that all winners in life are competitive people. So obviously you're a field athlete.
Yeah.
You're more of a track athlete. So well, you are a track athlete. Well, field for the jump. Yeah. So is there a difference in the regiment for field athletes versus track athletes?
Obviously a lot less running. We don't have to really worry about that as much. And we focus on a lot more heavy lifting, and technique work is like every single day. We're not exactly doing, like heavy lifting is normally on our own, so we have to go in and do like 2 hours of technique. So like the shot put that we were doing earlier, I would work on that for 45, 50 minutes and then do like some extra stuff on top of that. And it's just every single day, and just the repetition over time really gets you into like the shape of throwing.
And so Lindsey, you're more of a short distance runner, right? So is your training all just speed oriented, or is it?
Yeah, there's some speed and endurance involved.
Okay.
So like I run up to a 200 is my farthest event. So we'll do anything like just like to a 200 or like a 300 just over that is the farthest I'll go in like a workout.
Okay.
But mainly it's kept pretty short.
So it's more like short bursts.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there a lot of conditioning involved though for you, or is there?
Yeah, we do like bleachers is considered conditioning for us. We'll do that over and over and over again. We'll do anything like suicides. They're short bursts, but we'll do them for a while.
Okay. Well, I mean now, so Jake, last year you were named the field athlete of the year. So, I mean, why don't you talk a little bit about that, because that's quite an honor.
Yeah, I mean, like, going into it, I had no clue that was even something that I could win. And
surprise.
Yeah, it was funny. My coach came up to me and told me, and said, hey, if you do, like, as decent as you should do, you're going to win field athlete of the year. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, didn't know. But then I just performed my best, and I won the javelin, was named to the first team all CSAC for javelin, and I did decent in my other 3 events, so that I could pull out the most amount of points, and that they named me field athlete of the year. And I was just so honored. Like, I wasn't expecting it, but it was something that all of the years of track have led up to this, and I was just so happy and excited that I could do it, because like Lindsey said, I'm a competitor. I always want to win as much as I could, and that was just like the icing on the cake for me.
Sure. Now, Lindsey, I said, and you even said, we know you've more school records than we mentioned before, but so, how does that feel to know that you have your name, kind of
it's nice.
Etched up there?
It's nice.
Is it a validation? I mean, you get started and we'll go back to Jake, but is it validation for all your hard work? Is that like what it feels like ultimately?
Yeah, for sure.
So what does that feeling feel like knowing that you all this training, all these hours in the gym, like it's finally paying off? What does that feel like?
Not like, I don't want to say it, like put it this way, but in a lack of like a better term, it gives you like a purpose on the track. Like I feel like I'm actually purposeful to my teammates, because with records come points, meaning I'm providing points for my team, we're gonna win, is all that matters. I don't really care per se myself that I have records. It's really nice. It holds me to a high level, but in the end, that translates to helping my teammates out.
And Jake?
Yeah, definitely. Last year we had an incredible athlete, Matt Collier, and he was just always pushing me to be better, and we were back and forth, and eventually he ended up taking the hammer record away from me, but I was so happy for him, and we just kept pushing each other, so we made each other better. So I think that the record being higher and being set is always just like a push for the other people coming in, and they're gonna want to break it, and it's always just like awesome that like we could help people achieve the best that they could be.
So how important is like in squad competition like for a team, do you think?
You know, it's different every year. So like when I was in high school, I never really had competition between my team. But then I got here and I actually had some competition. You know, I had people that were better than me in certain events, and it was kind of a shock to me because I was always used to being the best on my team. But I think that it actually helped me and it pushed me to be better because I always, I'm a competitor, so I always want to win. So it pushed me to work harder than they were working, and sometimes it worked out for me in the end and sometimes it didn't, but it just pushes us to work so much harder.
Now, we saw some of it in the one-on-one, but is there any real rituals you guys do? Like, are you like kind of superstitious before you do events, or what do you think?
It's kind of funny. One of the old track and field athletes, before every meet, he would have a Monster. And last year, my coach was like, why don't you drink a Monster, you know, see what happens. So I had one before a meet, and I broke the school record. And I was just so happy that I just started doing that before every single meet. And now that's just something that I do every single meet before I actually throw. I drink a Monster.
Gets you amped, probably.
Yeah, it wakes me up.
And Lindsey?
Yeah, I'm extremely superstitious.
Okay.
Like, I go to the point to lay out my uniform the same way before every meet, and I wear like the same socks, everything. And then you saw how I get into the blocks. I do that same thing every single time. I have the same warm-up, time it out the same way.
That just give you like an extra sense of confidence, sort of?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you could is it kind of like I can't lose after I do that, sort of? And so I think we're coming towards the end here, but we have time for a couple more at least. So are there any goals for this season? Or is there anything either of you definitely want to see yourselves do or the team do?
I think a main goal for both men and women is to win the Atlantic East Conference championships this year. You know, in the past, we've only been an official team for, I think it was 3 years, right? And, you know, first year men placed third, last year we placed second, and then this year we're really hoping
There's a trend.
So we're hoping to really bring it home. But personally for me, I want to win the Field Athlete of the Year again, and I would like to go to the ECACs and win that, and maybe even Nationals if that's possible, but we'll see about that one.
Well, once you taste it, I guess you kind of want it.
Yeah, you just always want more. You always want more.
And Lindsey, goals for yourself, the team?
Same thing. We're trying to get that plaque, first place for the first time. We had Penn State Barron used to be in our conference, and they're D1 caliber kids at a satellite school. So there was no possible way. They would beat us by over 100 points, basically, no matter what we did. But then we would beat every other team in the field by at least 100 points. Yeah. So if they weren't in the picture, we would have won. So it's nice to be able to do that this year. We're going to have that opportunity without them being in it.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck, you know.
Thank you.
First season in a new conference, hopefully. First championship.
Thank
you.
So
good luck, and thank you guys very much for being on the show. So stick around. I'll tell you what you can expect on the next edition of BTA.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sound. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
I'd like to thank Lindsey and Jake for coming on the show and wish them the best of luck this season. Beyond the Arch is back, so head over and subscribe to TV-Marywood's official YouTube page to watch full episodes of the show. Be sure to follow TV-Marywood on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Until next time, always remember to look past the jersey and beyond the arch. From everyone at TV-Marywood, have a great night.